Greetings, this is Professor Griff. Tune in every weeknight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on youtube.com/C/Sirius Mindz RNTV. And make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Sirius Mindz for Sirius Minds, seriously. Peace.
Open your eyes to the endless possibilities of creating from your centerpiece. Experience your visions brought into reality and watch your dreams unfold naturally. If pictures are worth 1,000 words, let's create a story that's a masterpiece. Casso Visions. Capture your visions.
Peace, ladies.
Hi, good evening. Greetings, blessings, everyone.
Peace, peace.
We'd like to welcome everyone to the Sista Cypha. If you're just joining us, please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and share. If you like to donate to the Sirius Mindz platform, please make sure you hit up the Super Chat or Professor Griff on PayPal or Cash App. And we just want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. So ladies, tonight what we're going to be discussing is the Popeyes challenge and basically how it's just been consuming every platform out there. And so what we're going to do is basically talk about how, our data and our energy is basically used as mind control. And I'm going to pull from an article I would like to read to start off with, so everybody kind of has a foundation of what we're going to discuss tonight, and then we're going to dive into some questions and discuss the topic.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Okay, so marketing experts say that Chick-fil-A may not have wanted to boost Popeye's sales, but they created a lot of exposure for themselves too. Over the past week, Popeyes has trended on Twitter globally. They've welcomed expansive crowds and sold out just about every new chicken sandwich it has. But why is this particular sandwich such a big deal? Interestingly so, Popeyes chicken sandwich was gaining light interest when the fried chicken chain announced the new menu item on August the 12th. The sandwich promised to excite fans with barrel-cured pickles, a buttered toast Hold on. I'm sorry. Look. Here we go. A butter-toasted bun, creamy mayo, and buttermilk battered and hand-breaded chicken fillet. Okay. But excitement began building on August the 19th when Chick-fil-A tweeted its way into the conversation, reminding its 1.1 million followers that bun plus chicken plus pickles equal all the love for the original. Popeyes responded with, "Y'all good?" And the chicken sandwich wars had officially begun. So too was it on Popeyes sales. It just so happens that the buzz was largely spurred by Chick-fil-A's tweet when it launched a Twitter war. Popeye said it introduced its new chicken sandwich to meet existing customer demand, but the social media conversation has begun bringing hordes of new faces through the fast food chain's doors. Google searches for Popeye's chicken sandwich grew almost 1,000% following the August 9th tweets, according to the Google Trends. Many Popeyes restaurants subsequently sold out of the sandwich. Lines reached 45 minutes over the weekend in some places. Some towns may even nix the sandwich because long Popeye's lines are contributing to traffic crashes.
Yes.
One curious new customer, Chris Doyle, waited 20 minutes to get his hands on a sacred sandwich in Broomfield, Colorado. He lucked out, but Popeye stopped selling the sandwiches only minutes earlier. The Chick-fil-A versus Popeyes debate on social media sparked our curiosity, Doyle said. I got both the classic and the spicy sandwiches. I like the classic the classic sandwich better than the spicy. And in a viral sandwich with unprecedented sales, the #1 trending topic on Twitter was the Popeyes versus Chick-fil-A. And so, ladies, I want to basically talk about mind control and brainwashing. So I want to define it before I dive into this question that I'm going to ask you guys. So basically, mind control is defined as brainwashing, coercive persuasion, mind abuse, thought control, or thought reform. And it refers to the process in which a group or individual systematically uses unethical, manipulative methods to persuade others to conform to the wishes of the manipulators, often to the detriment of the person being manipulated. So my question, ladies, in the Chick-fil-A sandwich war versus Popeyes, is it a mistake or a strategy or simply mind control of the Black community? I mean, ladies, do you think the Popeyes social media marketing strategy is a new form of mind control or just a marketing ploy?
I would say it's a marketing ploy. I mean, it's another form, like you stated, mind abuse, thought reform. I mean, I'm guilty. I did want to see what it was all about, the talk and the hype. So I did go to Popeyes. And they had a sign saying it's sold out. So I was a little upset because I wanted to try it for tonight. But I fell for the hype. Yes, I did go. Yes, they did get me, but they didn't get my money. But it's mind control. It's whatever you put out there is part of propaganda. Is hype. Is letting people know, especially if you're not cooking on a regular basis, you know, something cheap, something fast, something quick, and everyone's talking about it. You might be curious.
So what's your take on it, Alex?
Peace, Quan. Peace, Carrie. Peace, Sirius Mindz family, Professor Griff. You ladies really make my day. This is funny. I was actually still tripping from the young man in Colorado, you know, a sacred sandwich, you know, with the creamy mayo and the buttermilk. You know what I'm saying? Like, is this for real? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like Tyson Foods, they know what they're doing. I mean, social media is a mass cross sample to canvas a population. So it's crazy. And 67 to 103% increase for Popeyes alone, just off one sandwich. So they're going to target people. It is mind control in a sense, because if they're specifically targeting you and canvassing you subconsciously, then they're going to get your money.
Like, Black Twitter, if you will, is basically the ones who really push this whole Twitter war, if you will, between the two. And ironically so, they use like a lot of ebonics to kind of, you know, swap words, you know, on Twitter and stuff like that. So to me, I felt like it was specifically geared towards Black people. You know what I mean? Because of what they were saying, like, you good? Like, who uses those type of, like, terminologies? Like, only us. And the main people I saw on Twitter basically pushing this was Black people. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, it seems like we take 3 steps forward, but we get knocked back 5. And it's like, every time you think that we're trying to push through and trying to push forward, it's like something like this happens. And I can remember I can't remember who's the football player's name, and y'all, I'm probably gonna have to look him up. I think it was Jerry Lewis. I could be wrong on the name.
Jerry Rice. It was Jerry Rice.
Right. Yeah,
Jerry
right.
Rice. Okay, correct me. I stand corrected.
I think he's on Dance with the Stars.
Yeah, when he had the chicken twirling from his head, the Popeyes commercial, and I thought that was the biggest Sambo-ish type
What?
stuff I've ever seen.
That's like Mary J. Blige. Remember, she had a commercial also. They shut down.
I forgot about that. Oh my God. Yeah. So, International Business Times is reporting that various sources said Popeyes earned anywhere from 20 million to 23 million from its new chicken sandwich in the controversy.
Wow.
One source, Apex Marketing Group, estimated that Popeyes 23 million in equivalent ad value across digital, print, social, TV, and radio in just 11 days since August the 12th.
Wow.
And basically, so my question to you ladies is, are Black people playing into the narrative of these organizations, and are they just giving away free advertisement and making it easy for these corporations?
I mean, they are giving away free advertisement, but like I said, I'm guilty because I wasn't gonna buy it for myself. But it's just those words, like you say, play on words, trying to get our attention. Like it's the last burger you're gonna ever have that tastes so good. So they playing with words. But if you look deep, as I was going home, I realized, like you just mentioned a good point. It's like, what are these corporations giving back to our communities?
None.
I mean, running out there, giving us our money, regardless how you get it, our money, and then you sit back and realize, what are they going to do in the community for us? Because once again, it goes back to what Professor Griff has stated, everybody else. We don't realize that we have to worry about our health down the line. We don't know what exactly is in that food that's being cooked at a high rate for a low price. And I mean, we have to start thinking about those things as well. So right now, it looks good. It's something probably inexpensive. You go grab and eat. But the long-term effect is what I worry mostly about.
Yeah, we're actually going to get into that portion a little later.
Okay.
But yeah, interesting point. You made a great point on that for sure. What's your take on it, Alex?
I think that everyone who's consuming is playing into the narrative, but more so African-American people in America and whoever else is getting the message that's being targeted specifically for that point of culture. Because we all know, soul food was leftover scraps and we carried it through. However, demographically, who else is pitching a fried chicken sandwich? I mean, let's be real, yo. You know what I'm saying? It's funny in a sense, but it's not funny at all. Why aren't we having economic wars? If we're going to have a chicken sandwich war that doesn't help us financially in any type of way, systemically, why not have an economic war? I mean, our control is our participation. I don't have social media at this point in time right now. I will next year, but for me, I'm not affected because I'm not targeted because I'm not on social media and I don't eat at Popeyes right now or Chick-fil-A. So for me, I'm good. But for the many people who are caught up or who just enjoy chicken overall, I mean, they're going to consume what they want to eat. So I think that one of the things that we can eventually take from this conversation is getting different forms of protein.
Well, my next question is, I want to know why we as a community, and by we meaning the Black community, is so quick to support these type of organizations. Because if you look at the historical data, I mean, they don't support us in return, like you were saying. They just, Carrie, you were saying that they don't support the Black communities. You're absolutely correct. It's like, what scholarships are you putting in place? What economic, plans or programs that you're putting in place to help us? Because me being from Louisiana, I can literally throw a rock and hit probably about a good 3 Popeyes in one community. It's like on every other block, you'll find a Popeyes in Louisiana. And I know it was originally founded in Louisiana, but it's like they are everywhere. They're like gas stations. They are literally everywhere.
Yeah, or banks.
So,
and
go ahead, babe.
You're absolutely right. It's like you mentioned, I mentioned, is you see it in every community, and 9 out of 10, I'm going to say 9 out of 10, we are not working in there. Maybe 2 of us, 3 of us. It's actually, I think the shareholders are foreigners. They're usually the one who buy shares, and they help themselves within their community to either become doctors, lawyers, put their kids to school. So once again, it goes back to, what are we doing for ourselves? I mean, we are the reason why most of these corporations are standing, are there. And you're right. Why don't they give back scholarship? why they don't invest in some community activities within the neighborhood so we can help each other, so we can multiply our money. So it goes back to selling things. We get it, we got it, but once again, we are at the disadvantage.
So Alex, why do you think we're so quick to support these types of organizations?
Because we're hungry and we don't have the power to have more restaurants and franchises and corporations and you know what I'm saying? It's I think it's a deeper level. I mean, a corporation is going to do what they're supposed to do. They're going to open up shop wherever, whenever, and get as many as people to fund them, period. But on a deeper level, in this society, this Western patriarchal society where everything is time crunched, money, 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 now. People want home cooked meals at whim, microwave minute. So people want to have good tasting food immediately in mass quantities. However, I think there's a better way that we can eat healthier and still enjoy flavor and have Black owned businesses. And that's something we need to look at. I mean, there are plenty of different restaurants around that are, you know, plant-based or antibiotic-free, LBGH hormone-free. However, we just have to explore other options and really think about what we're doing and why we're doing it. Because not everybody is conscientious and awake and aware to what they're putting in their body, or even on a political level to even buy Black. So I think we just need to have an educational moment and just be aware of other options so that we can know that we have a choice.
I think for me, I believe, and this is just my humble opinion, and I'm quite sure there's some numbers out there that are supported, but I think if we are able to better circulate the dollar within our community, it would have a greater impact. You know, any entrepreneur out there that's in a Black community, more than likely they're going to be hiring their own. You know, but unfortunately, you know, when you have gentrification occurring in these Black communities and you have these big box corporations and businesses, you know, we don't control the say of who gets hired and who doesn't get hired in a Black, you know, in those type of businesses. As opposed to, you know, most Black businesses that are out there, they're more inclined or likely to hire, you know, Jimbo from down the street or Diane from around the corner. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's crazy because it's like, I would love to see this kind of support for our own Black businesses. Like, I would like to see us cape for our own before we go caping for these white corporations or for these other races. And we just don't do it. We just don't have it in our space. And it's just disheartening because we have so much power. We do. Which brings me to my next question. I mean, just imagine, ladies, like what this would do if we were to support a Black owned business. Like, if, let's say like there was some Black owned business similar to Popeyes that would have got that same kind of Twitter reaction as what, you know, they did. I mean, just imagine that. Like, honestly, could you imagine what that would do for a small mom or pop business, like a small Black restaurant? I mean, the numbers are through the roof. Like, they increase in sales by 1,000%. That's ridiculous. Yeah. You know, and now it's just in a matter of 11 days. So just imagine if that was a small mom or pop Black-owned restaurant. What's your take on this, ladies?
Yeah, I'll interject real quick. You know, when you said that, Quan, it made me think of Wakanda, you know, Black Panther. Where did all that money go? Did that money go to our community? You know, we came out in groves. We came out in groves to see that representation of what we are and what we want to see. And that gave us fulfillment. It's the same scenario with food. We come out in groves for numbers, but is it affecting us financially in our community? So what a wonderful question to ask. If we had a Black mom and pop business that can give back to the community and have programs for children, teach canning, teach sewing, teach Black economics, just teach more in general. So I think that's a wonderful question that we need to explore.
Yeah, I agree. We do need to explore more. I mean, we've been talking about this for almost several months now. We need to understand the power of our spending and how we can keep that money in our community and help one another. I think that's what the disconnect. Sometimes we rather go out there and support someone that doesn't look like us. Unfortunately, that's what's going on and happening. And sometimes some of us don't even read or research how that's going to affect us buying those burgers, like I stated earlier, or that shirt that wasn't made for us. I mean, we have to research, and in order to do that and spread the word to people that live in a community, maybe you shouldn't buy that. Maybe you should do this with your money. It's just go back to having a foundation and realizing that we have to look out for one another. And unfortunately, that doesn't happen often.
One thing that I can appreciate is that we may not be on a level as other corporations, but we do have businesses out there promoting other Black businesses, like We Buy Black, Bob Spotter. There's a lot of different like businesses that really have like conferences, or they have like a vendor list or a business list, or where you can go and shop specifically for Black owned businesses. So I really appreciate, me being a business owner, I really appreciate that, because I want to share my dollars in the Black community. And it's like, you know, I think that's where we need to focus on, you know, for the most part. I think like if we can put it out there like, hey, yeah, there's a vegan owned, Black owned vegan spot here, or we have a healthy smoothie shop here, or, you know, something similar to that nature, and put out the research and just the value of how this is going to impact not only our lives, but the legacy that's going to come behind us. You know, so
generational wealth. That's right.
Yeah. So what I want to know is, you know, I've said, like, I'm from Louisiana, and there's like Popeyes and Chick-fil-A's everywhere. And, you know, I just want to know, like, why is it that that's the only food option in a Black community? Because if you do the research, there's about, from what I pulled, there's about 23.5 million people that live in food deserts, and nearly half of them are mostly low-income neighborhoods, and approximately 2.3 million people, which equates to about 2.2% of the U.S. households, live in low-income rural areas, and they live more than 10 miles away from a supermarket. And for those listening in the chat, food deserts are areas in which residents are hard-pressed to find affordable, healthy food options. And their neighborhood is pretty much dilapidated, you know, poor, mostly urban neighborhoods across the U.S. And fewer supermarkets or farmers market. It's easier to find a Popeyes than a vegan spot, or a Slurpee, you know, versus a smoothie spot, you know, and it's cheaper to get a Big Mac than it is at a salad bar. And at the end of the day, your health is your wealth. So, you know, if we're only given options like Popeyes and Chick-fil-A's, we would never be able to solve like all the disparities and all the health issues we have in our community. You know, so I want to get your ladies' take on this whole idea of having food deserts, but yet within the food deserts, you'll find places like Popeyes, Burger King, McDonald's. I mean, what's your take on that, ladies?
Yeah, absolutely correct. In my neighborhood, go ahead. You want to go? Hello?
Go ahead.
Okay. In my neighborhood, I live in the Bronx, and you are absolutely correct. When I walk out and I go up the block, I see a Popeye, I see a mom and pop fried chicken. I walk another block, then you see the Chinese food. And sometimes when I'm in there, I do see people, you know, no offense to anyone, pull out the EBT cards, and it's inexpensive and it's quick, like Alex mentioned earlier. So people are not conscious of what they put in their bodies. And those that are, you have to go miles. You even have to go to Manhattan or Brooklyn just to get something fresh. Now there are new companies and new little stores here and there that are developing in our neighborhood for the health conscious. But you are absolutely right. Sometimes I just shake my head because I can't believe that someone gave them a loan to open up another Popeye. They won't open another recreational building for kids or after school program, but they're giving out loans like crazy just to open up these shops that will kill us slowly. And I slowly but surely. Yeah, Alex.
I think that's crazy, and it is crazy how you know, in poor communities, there's always churches, there's always liquor stores, there's always fast food joints. But one of the things I wanted to put in this conversation is, it doesn't matter if Popeyes or Chick-fil-A's has the bigger sales. Tyson chicken is the winner because they're the supplier. In 2017, they were doing 35 million chickens per week. Where are all these chickens coming from? How are we reproducing these chickens that fast? What are they being pumped with? Those are things we have to question. And I want to say also, too, from an education standpoint, we need to know what we're eating. I just went hardcore plant-based for an entire year. And what prompted that was watching a Netflix documentary called What the Health. There's also another movie called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. There's also another one called Food Inc. And it shows you just because something says cage-free doesn't mean that it's not being grown in a barn in pitch black, dark, walking in knee-high feces. Some of these chickens are growing so fast they can only take 2 or 3 steps and they collapse over. And when they lay there dead, that meat is still going to get used. So we got to pay attention and find out different ways to implement protein into our diets other than dead animal flesh that is deep fried and coated in batter.
So in the rest of this article that I pulled for the research, basically they quoted saying that neighborhoods' income isn't the only barrier for attaining healthy food. They said when comparing communities with similar poverty rates, they discovered that Black and Hispanic neighborhoods have fewer large supermarkets and more small grocery stores than their white counterparts. And most of those grocery stores have mostly junk food options as opposed to like fresh fruits and vegetables and or whole grain foods. And basically what they were saying in this article was that a lot of the Black and brown communities, they don't really have the option to go to a Whole Food store because of the price difference. And I shop at Whole Foods, and I will tell you, like, even in the local grocery stores, like, fruit is expensive as hell right now.
Absolutely.
And vegetables, and it's like the meat, the fatty, the junk food stuff is super cheap. But the stuff that's nutrient or healthy for you is really like next to impossible to buy. Like you're paying like $2.99 for a pound of grapes. I mean, per pound.
Absolutely right. Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I can remember growing up when it was just like fruit was cheap. Like we would go to the farmer's market or the fruit market or whatever, or the fish market, and we will buy from the local farmers and fishermen. And you don't see that here, especially here in Texas. You don't really see that. You got all these big box stores, and it's just sad because they know what they're doing. I mean, they know that this stuff is killing us, but yet the stuff that we need to survive is next to impossible to buy. And if you have a family of 4 and you try to feed miles, you're going to get what can stretch and what can feed your children at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And I've been one of those parents to where I have been on EBT before. I've had subsidized housing, all that. I'm very fortunate right now where I'm economically self-sufficient. I make very good money. But I will say, even when I had an EBT card, a rich card, I wasn't thinking about getting anything organic. My freezer looked like a morgue. I mean, right now, where I live in the Midwest, it is $2.79 for one organic avocado, $1.79 for one organic mango. I choose not to spend $11.16 on 4 avocados. That's a lot of money.
Yes, it is.
You got to weigh out your options. Either you're going to pay for the house now, or you're going to pay for the house later. So, I mean, it's difficult. It's challenging, but we got to have accountability, and we got to have a tribe of other people who want a healthy lifestyle as well, because it's very possible. There are very possible, viable, healthy vegan solutions to where you can make hearty, robust chilies with garbanzo beans and tomatoes, and you can make different snacks and items and still feel full. But at the same time, for people who are not economically self-sufficient, that don't have the funds to meet needs for their families, I understand taking $10 and stretching it and buying a bag of chicken leg quarters with some potatoes and some spaghetti and see what you got to do and eat it for a week. I get it.
Me
so
too.
There's got to be some type of transition into approaching a healthier lifestyle. That way we won't get rope-a-dope into a chicken challenge and our house can be at the forefront instead of our palate.
Right.
Absolutely. So it's like, it's crazy that you said that, because I mean, even when I was in college, they allow college students to get on food stamps. If you work 20 to 25 hours per week, you can get it. Even back then, I can remember how expensive stuff was, and it's just only getting worse, you know. And it's just, I look at my Black queens, my sisters who have to struggle, and if they got to get Cocoa Puffs instead of getting, you know, whole grains or something healthy, it's like, no, this is a do or die situation. I got to feed my kids. This is what is most important to me. Like, my kids, you know, I can't have my kids crying or child social services coming in my door because I'm not feeding my children. You know what I mean? And it's just sad that we have to make these kind of choices to make it work. And then it just falls back into the mind control. It's like, they are manipulating the system, and it's all mind control and your bottom line. That's all it is. You're increasing their bottom line, but yours is constantly going down. And on top of that, it's like, it's a survival issue. It's just pure survival. I mean, what are you going to do? You don't control anything. You don't make policy. So again, you know, you have these other people, the white supremacy, who are basically dictating a lot of this.
Absolutely. And I want to interject too, Quan and Carrie. Quan, initially your question asked about mind control. And if we're going to have serious minds for this conversation and look at it from a deeper perspective, is this a distraction? Because right now the Amazon rainforest is on fire. And not only that, but Angola and the Democratic Republic of Congo, they have 6,000 fires right now. Why is that not being talked about? So over here, we're having a chicken challenge. Wasn't there just the Epstein pedophile society being so fast paced? We don't have time to meal prep and sit and talk and spend time and, you know, peel potatoes and shuck corn and have the time to sit down and make that meal prep. So it just goes back to the society and what our values are. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead,
And also, I just wanted to add also, you absolutely right, both of you ladies. And we have to also look at what is our value. I mean, we'll get up early in the morning, afternoon, get dressed, and we'll stand on long lines to get a chicken. But we won't get together to vote. We won't get together to motivate each other to do what we have to do in order to improve our community. What's that said about us as well? Because people are looking from the outside looking in, and it's embarrassing to have so many people of color standing on line for chicken.
Yeah, it is. It's very embarrassing because, you know, like they say, chicken and watermelon, when they associate that with anyone, and who's they going? I mean, it's Black people who they associate that with, right? Fried chicken and watermelon. You know, so and we fall constantly into the same trap over and over and over and over again. And who benefits from it? They do. We don't. We're just consumers. And this is going to segue into the next question. You know, I want to know, like, why are we constantly the consumer and influencers instead of being the producers of wealth and Black businesses? Because when you look at it, Black consumers are speaking directly to these brands like Popeyes, Chick-fil-A's, Gucci, and all these other people in unprecedented ways. And they're achieving like headlines, and they're getting all of this free marketing and advertisement. And, you know, they're not seeing that reflected back on our end. So it's like a one-sided approach. And I've witnessed the power of Twitter just this past week with Popeyes. You know, Black consumers just basically, they're in the driver's seat, but they're not going anywhere. They're driving backwards. It's like, no, if you're going to have that much of power, you should be able to have that trickle down into your communities. You know, I was reading that Black Americans spend $1.2 trillion annually to brands, and this is brands across the board. $1.2 trillion. And they said that if Black people were to really wake up and get their act together, we would literally crumble the economy, because we are the biggest consumers in the world. And unfortunately, again, that is not trickling down into our communities. We still have an unemployment rate that's ridiculous. We still don't have reparations. We still don't have the education that we need. The only good thing is this is helping is white supremacy and these white corporations. It's not helping us.
Right.
And I just want to know from you ladies, like, what is it about us that we are always the consumer and not the producers of wealth, our Black businesses?
Culture. I mean, culture. We celebrate everything but culture. I mean, there are successful, beautiful Black men and women around the world, African descent, who do have businesses and who do give back. But the majority of what we're seeing right now, I think that we're so satisfied with clothes and hairstyles and food and these external monetary things that we're not being fulfilled with just being who we are and celebrating that in itself. We've been like completely removed from a point of origin. So everything else outside is just like celebratory. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? Like the whole currency is a concept. Like everything has been created for systemic control and domination. It's like we're here in this system and we're being successful in certain areas, but not in mass quantities. So we're being fulfilled with, you know, certain little things here and there. But as far as real wealth, I don't think that the majority of Black people and Africans in general consider external, you know what I'm saying, prosperities and financial things as wealth. I think that our wealth and our value is different. So I think that with these distractions with food and chicken and weed and blunts and that's just some type of, you know what I'm saying, American type culture that's recently been, you know, activated. That's not really at the core of who we are and how we operate as a people. So when we can get on code with culture and have that blueprint and operate from that standpoint, then that connectivity will come from love. So I think it just all comes back again to, you know, culture and identity and efficacy and accountability and having that knowingness and the spirituality. But in this system, when things are being pumped and pushed and glamorized, it's almost like, well, damn, I'm being rope-a-doped and bamboozled by different areas.
You're absolutely right.
It's hard. It's hard to sift through it. And some of us make it out. Some of us are transitioning. Some of us in the room have had a past life that was hell to tell the captain. Some of us are still in situations that we're trying to get out of. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, we can only do what we can only do at any given moment and grow and try to do better.
Right. I agree. I mean, it's nothing. I mean, I can also add that I like how you said that quantum producers of wealth. We have no sense of value for ourselves. It's like Alex mentioned, no culture, no sense of togetherness. And I do believe that it starts also in our community. Maybe we need to put out there money management classes. Maybe we need to let people know, people of color, the value of having a credit card, when to use a credit card, loans, when to use a loan, when to apply for a loan. Some people just see money, see that plastic card and spend. And it's like we stated earlier, whatever's cheap, whatever is in we go grab. But we don't sit back and realize that it's our money, like you stated, and making the corporation richer and richer. So once we understand the value of our money, the power that is behind it, and we get, you know, enroll in money management classes, maybe we'll change. Maybe there'll be, you know, a 360 degree, because most of us don't really realize that once we have that money in our hand, it's out of our hands in less than a month. Some of us don't even know how to save.
I think that's a good idea. I think that's a good idea, Carrie. And not only that, but what are we being taught from a young age in the school system? Like, who told us that was the 5 food group? Who told us this is what we're supposed to learn? Who told us this is what we're supposed to eat? So it's almost like we have to unlearn everything to relearn everything. We have to do our own research. We have to get a higher understanding and some, you know, just discipline and isolate in order to readjust and rediscover and self-explore and become aware to what's really going on and where we are and where we fit in and how we need to conduct ourselves. I mean, it's really challenging asking someone to stop being who you've only known yourself to be, because that's not the right way, and here's a better option for you. I mean, it paralyzes some people. So again,
it changes.
Gradually, but at the end of the day, between this chicken war and this chicken hype and this delicious creamy mayo and buttery crispy biscuit, Tyson is the winner. Ding, 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 Tyson wins because they're supplying the chicken. So what Are we going to support typing?
Well, here's the thing. Like, you're absolutely correct. Like, what we've been taught from a very young age of what's healthy or what's acceptable and what's not. And it goes all the way back to what we were saying at the beginning about mind control. Like, this literally, like, that whole pyramid, like, that's been debunked and debated so many times over. And I mean, if you look at Sabi, who shows you the way, who put out the information for us of how we can, how we can be cancer free and disease free by eating certain foods. And some people they look at it as a fad or taboo or just just bogus. And it's like, we really got to look at our elders and the people who put out the information for us, because again, they're going against the grain. We have been under mind control for so long that we really honestly believe that this is like the status quo, or this is like, law. This is what we should do. And it's like, no, you've been taught wrong. The information that was given to you was not correct. So we, as you said, Alex, we have to reprogram ourselves, and we got to get out of this whole trickery and get out of the matrix, if you will, of white supremacy, and just that's going to be the only thing that's going to allow us to progress as we learn to figure this thing out, not only from a health standpoint, but an economic, spiritual, just so many different avenues that we have to take into consideration so that we can become one with self. Like, it's a lot of work that needs to be done, and as far as being a consumer, it's like, from a business standpoint, if you want to get out of being a consumer, then you have to be the producer. In order to be a producer, you have to, have the business in place. You have to create the jobs. You have to be able to provide employment for the people that need it most. That's the only way you're going to be able to create wealth. There are some people who have generation wealth where it's just literally given to them and handed down to them from grandpappy on down. There's those, but then you have those who actually create the wealth, who goes out there and say, okay, I'm going to start a business, going to start a bakery or whatever it may be, and they create the jobs. And then that's where you get the generational wealth being created. So in order for us to do that, we have to get the fundamentals right first. We have to lay down a foundation. You know what I mean? Like, we have to understand business. Because don't get me wrong, there are some people, Black people in particular, that should not be in business. Let's just keep it all the way above.
Yeah, we gotta keep it 100.
Yeah, like, it's just they're unprofessional, or it's just the service is just crappy, or just like the food is not what they're advertising, or the business is not what they're advertising, or they just a crook or whatever. So you kind of get a mixed bag. But for those who are doing it correctly, it's like we need more of those. We need people that's going to be willing to put in the work, roll their sleeves up, create the jobs, and then not just do one business, but do multiple businesses in multiple locations, because that's where the wealth creation comes in. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, for us, we need to get the basics, like getting our credit scores on check.
Money management,
money management, not only just money management, but how to run a business, like the simple thing, like, where do you go? How do you go and start a business? You got to get your EIN number. You got to, register with the IRS. You have to register locally. You have to basically put your marketing tools together. Get your business plan in order. It's just like several things like we need to do, and just put it like a bullet point. Like, okay, step 1, step 2, step 3. This is what you need to do to get it done. And it's like, it's out there as far as like SBA, but it's like, from a business standpoint, those things do not benefit us. It's white women take advantages of SBA, the SBA loans and all of this stuff. And it's just like, it was created for us, but it's like everybody else, the Hispanics, the women and all these other folks are taking away our resources. So we have to create our own, so it's just like, instead of just begging for a seat at the table, we have to build our own table. You know what I mean? We have to build the table, and so that we can be producers of wealth and Black businesses.
Build the table and sit at it.
Right. And give back to your community. She's absolutely right.
Yeah. Like, and lastly, Well, I just want to talk about this since we're on a Popeyes thing, because this has been a pet peeve of mine for years. And I don't know if y'all it upset you like it upset me, but the black lady on the Popeyes commercial, Lord Jesus, like she
yes,
to no end. It's like, first of all, her name is Deirdre Hillary, and she's from the Caribbean. And what pisses me off is, one, she's an immigrant. Two, she's black people.
Hello?
Quan? I think you went out, sister. You hit mute.
Yeah. You can hear me though, right, Alex?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so we're just gonna wait for Quan.
I want to let people just tell you that it's okay for you to mock black people like this. We don't sound like this. Like, I know, like, if you're going for a role, you have to research that role. Like, who are you researching? Where did you go? Like, I'm not understanding. Like, please, lady, tell me your opinion on it. Am I the only one that thinks?
No, you're not the only one. This has been going on for years. You know they always get a mascot to sell and push products that are unhealthy and is going to gravitate by making these sound effects. Chicken. I mean, it's just downright disrespectful. We know this. And like you said, these corporations, these elites, they don't care. Whatever sells, by all means necessary, they're going to do.
Wow.
Yo, that's all called. I didn't see the commercial, but I can only imagine. I just don't understand why the language and the lexicon and the grammar and the syntax has to be broken and stuttered. And, why do I have to be, robotic to eat chicken? Why is that the sales tactic? Why is that a marketing strategy? Why do I got to sound illiterate in order to, purchase your food? So I think that in itself is just, that's disrespectful, because I don't see them saying that to the white community in the Appalachian Mountains who ain't got no teeth that drink Mountain Dew and coal mine. I mean, you don't have a redneck. You don't have a redneck with a mohawk missing 3 teeth in the front talking about So it's, again, I think it's a lot of mind control with distracting by putting something silly in the forefront of the media. And at the end of the day, like I said, Tyson is winning. They are selling the chicken to these 2 distributors or the purchasers, but we are the consumer. So again, our control is our participation. And if we are going to produce, like Quan said, we need to stop consuming and start opening up those tables and getting that business mindset and having that blueprint. And like Carrie mentioned, following Professor Griff's code, the Black Code, and having that foundation where we buy business and do business with each other first. We don't fight one another. We support one another. So I'm all for change. It's a day at a time. Discipline is necessary. And for those who really, really want change, you're going to do the research. You're going to reach out. And we need to start reading. We have to start reading, because Message to the Black Man talks about pork. It talks about pigs having pus on their ankles and hoofs. It breaks it down. So we got to be mindful of these foods, because we don't know how it's being processed. And why is all our meat being processed overseas? Does anybody think about that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, because it's cheaper. Because it's cheaper to do business overseas as opposed to the U.S. But Trump made a comment recently and told all the businesses and corporations to find an alternative, because he basically wants to get rid of, businesses doing business in China, in India, and, maybe we'll get more jobs, but I'm not a fan of Trump by no means.
That's an understatement.
Right, but it's just like he did make a very viable point. Like, okay, we're sending our jobs overseas, and you're getting these quote unquote tax breaks to do business overseas, and you're shortcutting and undermining the workers here in the U.S. And then you don't always get the good quality grade products from overseas. So it's like, okay, we're doing the business there and we're shipping in, and it's like, when you think about the freshness of food, it's like, you're shipping this from where? There's no way this is fresh at all.
Yeah, it's all cool. And another thing too, Tom Hayes was Tyson's CEO in 2017. And in an interview, he talked about, it's very doable, no antibiotics. if that's the case, sign a deal with Japan to start exporting and importing beef. And also, too, with the Amazon being burned down in Brazil, don't we know that deforestation is opening up shop for cattle, livestock? So think about it. If we're opening up a market to export beef to China, don't you think Brazil wants a part of that pie? I mean, Trump is crafty. Read between the lines. Whatever he's signing is not for the best interest of everybody. He is getting some piece of the pie in some type of way, shape, or form that's not being vocalized. So, I mean, there's just so many underlying things, man, that's happening that's just so messed up. But I really hope that, on a side note, they get these forest fires under control in Africa, in Angola, and the Republic of Congo, because they're not talking about that. And those 9,000 fires over there compared to 2,000 in Brazil, I mean, it's horrible either way. But again, the media is not talking about that. And also, too, Trump is trying to pitch like he's opening up the market for beef export for Japan and to help the farmers. Okay, well, if y'all stop controlling the weather and jacking up the weather over here in America, you wouldn't have to pitch it like you're helping all farmers. I mean, there's so many things that are going on that are wrong, and we're being distracted by eating chicken. It's crazy. But very
but you know, but interestingly so, there's different types of hormones that have been approved by the FDA. And so, yes, they probably do use some form of it. It's probably just sort of on that approved list, because there's no way in hell you can ship raw meat from across the country and it still be fresh. You know what I mean? And if you just think about a lot of these kids, that they look so much older than what they really are, is because all these injections of hormones in all around foods, like in steroids, like it's just so unhealthy on so many levels. And then just with Trump, it's just, and because of the tariffs, he's like literally driving everybody up the wall. They're talking about we're about to go into a recession, and it's because of all this trade talk, and he's trying to get rid of tariffs from China's end, and then he's trying to super tax, tariffs coming from out of China, which in effect is messing with the farmers, is messing with the corporations. So guess what? Guess what that's going to trickle down to? Us. At the end of the day, they want to, now he's talking about, oh, well, we're going to bail out our farmers. Like, wait a minute. Bail out. So you're going to do like Obama did with the banks? You're going to bail them out, and it's just, it's sad, because at the end of the day, I think of the single mothers, I think of the low-income neighborhoods. They're the ones that are going to be hurt the most, because you know why? All those products you see in a grocery store are going to be jacked up, because they got to make their bottom line some kind of way. They have to make, it's like a trade, it's like a trade-off. It's like, at the end of the day, okay, tariffs going up, pricing go up. And if pricing go up, they're going to stop hiring people. And they've said, even in the news, they've said that, the people who are in the manufacturing industry are basically like, they're not hiring anymore. It actually dropped in the last 3 months because of what Trump is doing. So you have less people being hired in these factories. And so at the end of the day, you're going to start seeing this whole trickle down effect that's going to eventually lead up to a recession. And what's going to go up? For sure, pricing in the grocery markets is going to go up. Food products is going to go up. Textiles is going to go up. Everything is going to go up. But at the end of the day, our pay rate is not going to go up. Our jobs are going to be cut. So it's like it's like a living. Yeah, it's like. Go ahead, Carrie.
No, you're right. No, it's just, I'm listening. It's just a form of Black oppression. It's like we go, like you stated earlier. It's like we take 3 steps forward, 5 steps back.
It is.
That's what
it's unfortunate, because I want to get out of that space where we always get the short end of the stick. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get out of that space for us as a people where we're the producers. We are all doing exceptionally well from a financial standpoint. Now, it's not. I know that's my utopia, and it's not going to be for everybody. I want to get out of that bottom caste system where Black people are always getting the brunt end of the stick. Like, I want to get out of that space. And there's many equations and elements that's going to need to happen for us to get to that point. But we have to get out of this whole mind control of white supremacy, and not just white supremacy, but capitalism, like stuff we don't need. Like, we don't need to be buying all this unnecessary stuff. Like, we need to stop consuming so many eventually. That's going to help us move forward as a people.
Right.
What's your take on that, ladies, before we close out? We have probably going to be closing out in about a minute or two.
It's okay. It's like, okay.
Sorry, Karen. Yeah, I agree. I'm an auto worker, and I completely get it. Everything is going from physical labor to automation, and the capitalistic, Western imperialistic mindset where win, me versus you, I dominate, power control, time over quality, quantity over quality. I mean, it's insane. But I mean, there is hope. There's always room for development and growth. All it takes is for us to get on board and unite and become in sync. And what I do want to say is, if we can look at the history and use different models, right now there's a billionaire from China who just took an old GM factory in Ohio several years ago and reopened it. And it's successful. He's like one of the #1 glass manufacturers in the world globally. So not only is he assisting Americans here in Ohio in that plant, hiring 2,000 American workers plus, but he's also being honorable to his homeland. It's crazy. I wish I had the link. I would definitely share it with you guys to watch. But what I'm saying basically is, in order to get in that position, we do have to start getting that blueprint out. And again, Quan, what you said about the capitalistic mindset, it just takes away from everything being wholesome and genuine. And it's just such a demand mindset where it's to conquer, win at all costs. And really, it doesn't have to be that way. There's other methods. If I could do it all over again, I would have went straight into a trade fresh out of high school.
Which is?
And don't get me wrong, we're all educated. Carrie, you're educated. You have a phenomenal position. Quan, you're educated. You have a phenomenal position. Me, I'm board certified, master's degree, but I work in a factory. So I'm transitioning myself. But what I'm saying is, we have to get a better blueprint to do things differently out of this system. There's different ways to maneuver. So, I mean, it's still exciting. I'm encouraged, whenever the catastrophes come and there's silly stuff, and it just gives me more encouragement. I know there's other people out there, like the people in this chat, Sirius Mindz family, that are hungry, that want to change, that want to create, generational wealth for their families and for themselves. So I'm encouraged. I mean, there's always going to be something crazy, but the best part about it is our power can activate anytime, and we have that control. So.
Oh, man, that was awesome what you said. Like, I think our common thread, like all the folks who tune in, periodically or consistently with the Sirius Mindz chat, like, we all have this drive and hunger, and we all want to do better and be better. And I think that's our common thread. Like, we're seriously trying to move this thing forward, but it's like we're not gonna just be shucking and jiving and just try to, slither on by and just try to, get over on people. No, we're trying to push this thing forward, and not just for ourselves, but for the people around us and in our communities and our children and our legacy that we're gonna leave. So I really appreciate you saying that, because I've noticed that from the people that do tune in nightly, like, we all have this kind of drive and motivation, and we feed off each other, and it's a beautiful thing. I just wish that, in the future, that we're able to kind of, take this platform to the next level, and not just next level, but just so that we can network and, each one teach one, and we connect and we put each other, whether it's crowdfunding or whatever it may be, whatever's going to get us to that next level. I don't know what that is for everybody. Everybody's going to be different, but whatever it's going to take, whatever it's going to take to get you to that next level, that's what I want us to do. I want us to be able to be each other's support system. Or just like, if you need information on something, or if you know how to do something, hey, Quan, I'm trying to start a business. I don't know the steps. Okay, cool. That's what I want us to be as a Sirius Mindz family. Like, we're not just getting the knowledge that we need to fight this white supremacy system, but we're also taking care of business. We're also creating wealth. We also are doing things to help us to hone in on our craft, to take this thing forward. And that's what I hope everyone gets from the Sista Cypha, whatever we bring to the message from the table, because I always like to end it on a positive note. So I just hope that, everyone joining us, we really appreciate you guys joining us every Tuesday and Thursday night. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and share. If you like to donate to the platform, you can do so through Super Chat or PayPal or through Cash App. we really appreciate all the support, whether it's just simply just putting a comic in the chat, whatever it may be. We really appreciate it. I know I do. And so I thank you. We appreciate you. Ladies, do you have any last words you want to share with the chat?
I just want to know if maybe one day or next month we can start our own challenge. How about we put our money where our mouth is at? Maybe on Tuesday, put $5 away. Instead of purchasing that food from McDonald's, take that $5, $6 and put it in a jar. Maybe we should do that.
No. Okay.
Nice.
Yes, start your mutual fund or savings account or business account. Get your business credit up. You can do that with Dubs. It's like, look, there's a lot of things we can do to get that credit score boosted in about 30 points. Trust me when I tell you this. So Alex, do you have anything you want to close with?
I'm just thankful for this platform to be able to have a think tank, to even have ideas to alter my life in a positive, impactful way, so I can be assisting to any other person that's coming into, knowledge of self. I'm thankful. I'm telling you, because, like I said, we're all in transitioning and we just want to do better, be better. And this is just a wonderful platform. So shout out to Professor Griff again. Shout
Absolutely.
out to wife Soleil. I hope they had a wonderful anniversary. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Tony Floyd, Rock Boy, Great Philip, John Burton,
Respect.
family. Yes. Shout out to everybody here, because each one teach one. Be your best self.
And so we do want to end this by saying, if anyone wants to participate with the Sista Cypha, by all means, please email Professor Griff, contact him. I'll be posting his email address where you can hit to want to chime in. You don't have to have a PhD behind your name. All we're doing is having a simple, casual conversation about serious topics. That's it.
Yeah.
So if we would love to have both women and men to chime in and give their opinion, because everybody has a different perspective. So please, if you want to join us, email Professor Griff. Also, the emergency preparedness class is still scheduled for August the 29th at 7 p.m. So if you would like to join that class, you can submit your $25 payment to PayPal. I'll be posting a link in the chat. So if you would like to participate in that class, please sign up for the class. We have 5 seats available. Hopefully we'll get to see everyone in the class. So we thank you. We love you. Peace, family.
Peace.
Seriously.
Peace.
Peace.
Under the veil of what people call beautiful lives a broken and empty soul. There's a whole lot of pretty faces all around the world, but that's only the physical. You'll never truly know if someone's beautiful until you look under the veil.
Under the veil is tales, lies, and secrets. Into the heart and pales dies just
Under the veil of what people call beautiful lives a broken and empty soul. There's a whole lot of pretty faces all around the world, but that's only the physical. You'll never truly know if someone's beautiful until you look under the veil.
under the veil is tales, lies, and secrets. Into the heart and pales dies just seeking. But what you thinking is veil, blind and bleak when it's your mind and your soul that needs to be deep in. See beauty skin deep. You're a shallow pond. Then there's an ocean of wisdom you need to paddle on. Take a dive in. Many jewels there. Your only interest is surface shit and fool's fare. You're a goddess. Take your rightful place. Tear the veil and stare a picture right in the face. Divine feminine. Can't be suppressed. Shakti is the energy that we manifest. Queens rule here. We the Devi tribe. Take a hit of this tantra and feel the Kali vibe. Peel away the cloak. Scrape away the scales and see the truth of what lies behind all the fallen veils. Trying to be, cause the Yachtman is blanketed like a canopy. Antithetical, saying that you real when your identity lies in all that you don't reveal. Third eye blind, eyes to contact, so you can open the lotus up like a compact. Become an offering, something more to give than the physical body that can't forever live. Rooted in passion, before the right cause. Spiritual wisdom and knowledge that make you have pause. Then let it transmute, metamorphosize. See the truth of awakening right before your eyes. If it's perception, the real magic. For you to miss all this glory, it would be tragic. So get to tearing the veil as if it was fabric, and find yourself on the path, walking the labyrinth. Shifu, I've been christened. Mount Meru, I'm focused on this mission. Mantras and I'm blissing. Unapologetic, no permission needed for this consciousness ascension. Disease of disconnection and remission. Shifting your perception like magician. No time to entertain your superstition. Not to mention my intention and illusion. Abolition and a goddess coalition. Serving lyrical nutrition is the form. Show me what you hate, I can show you how to love. Show me what you hate, I can show you how to love. Show me what you hate, I'ma teach you how to love. Teach you how to love, I can teach you how to love. Show me what you hate, I can show you how to love. Show me what you hate, I can show you how to love. Show me what you hate, I'ma teach you how to love. Teach you how to love, I can teach you how to love. Where's your focus and your mind at? Who holds the vision, holds the power, underline that. Is your reality created from the minds that seek to destroy your godness and undermine that which you've been given as divine capabilities that's activated when you. We gotta tear the fabric, exploring every facet, mortar and pestle agate, destroying every habit until you free it and you see all that you need, you have it. Disease of disconnection, distorting your perception. You need some introspection to see your God reflection. Away from forced deflection, a path of course correction. We come in peace, becomes the wage of conscious insurrection.
Show me what you hate, I can show you how to love. Show me what you hate, I can show you how to love. Show me what you hate, I'ma teach you how to love. Teach you how to love, I can teach you how to love. Show me what you hate, I can show you how to love. Show me what you hate, I can show you how to love. Show me what you hate, I'ma teach you how to love. Teach you how to love, I can teach you how to love.
Higher level, lotus, flower, stira, sukha, cedar, power. Higher levels, lotus, flower, stira, sukha, cedar, power. Higher level, lotus, flower, stira, sukha, cedar, power. Higher levels, lotus, flower, stira, sukha, cedar, power.
I clearly understand that every experience that we have is an opportunity for us to grow and to learn more about ourselves, and truly is an initiation into our God self.
I'ma teach you how to love, teach you how to love. I can teach you how to love. I'ma teach you how to love, teach you how to love. I can teach you how to love. Show me what you hate, I can show you how to love. Show me what you hate, I can show you how to love. Show me what you hate, I'ma teach you how to love. Teach you how to love, I can teach you how to love.
What you hate, I can show you how to love. Show me what you hate, I can show you how to love. Show me what you hate, I'ma teach you how to love. Teach you how to love, I can teach you how to love. Hey! Whoa!